Alrighty, back for another podcast, essentially where I just look into a camera and talk into a microphone and look at myself on my computer. I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, it's weird to think that people listen to me talk to myself. Um, I don't know why, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it's just a pastime doing some dishes. So shout out to all my homies fucking doing the dishes. Let's go, yeet. Um, but it's always weird. I don't know. I feel pretty good and confident in just like talking in general. So it's not that out of place for me to just sit here and talk into a camera. It feels pretty easy. Like hit record and I just start talking. But I mean, I haven't really said anything all day as well. So now this is kind of like an opportunity for me to get my thoughts and ideas out and actually verbally say them than just, think them in my head. So today's Friday, the 2nd of September. If you didn't know today's date, you're fucking welcome. Um, Essentially on Fridays, I just clean my mum's office in Blackstone and clean the house. So I just finished doing that now, and I wake up at about 7:30. But the reason why I'm mentioning the fact that I do that is because there's a few things that I want to talk about. And one, it's the first thing I want to talk about to do with the cleaning is basically just how kind of refreshed and good I feel while doing it and afterwards. And that's because, normally I don't wake up at 7:30. Like that's a habit which I got out of as soon as school finished. I was like, fuck waking up this early. Like if I don't have to, then, I won't. I'll just wake up at, fucking 10, 11, 12 o'clock if I'm not working, or just do whatever, just lounge around, like. But you don't feel good, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, having a big sleep can, get you that reset that you need, and I think that's really valuable if you're tired and if you work hard and if you wake up early, and having that one day a week where you can sleep in, I think that's valuable. But doing it consistently, day in day out, waking up, sleeping 10 hours, 12 hours, like, it's just not good. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is just because, I feel good. Like, I think it's something that I need to be doing a bit more, like waking up early, getting something done, being productive. Like, I feel really good right now. Like, I'm happy. Like, I'm excited. I'm like, I just want to share my enthusiasm, and that brings me to a few other stuff that I've been thinking about while cleaning. And I've, well, blah, 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 blah. I mean, sorry, I get stumbled with my words sometimes. This is a podcast. There's no filtering out. There's no editing. It's like, if I fuck up, I fuck up. Like, it is what it is. Like, you see the fuck ups. You see when I talk really well, really smoothly, and I might talk for 5 minutes. Like, fuck, that was 5 minutes. Like, there was point after execution. Whatever. But I also, make mistakes, ramble, talk about weird things, different things, off topic, this, that, and the other. Like, this is just me sitting here in front of a camera, like, holding myself accountable to what I'm saying. Um, but while I'm cleaning, I tend to listen to podcasts. Yeah, pretty much I just listen to podcasts. But today I listened to Gary Vee, and if you don't know who Gary Vee is, then I would definitely advise looking him up. Gary Vee to me is, someone that I want to be presently and throughout my life. And what I mean by that is Gary Vee has and shares some really positive values, which I think are really important for my life and to hopefully spread those values for the people around me. And that is, he talks a lot about being self-aware, and he talks a lot about accountability. He talks a lot about wanting to be wrong. He goes into this idea that if anything fucks up, the first and only thing he does is he says, even if it really wasn't his fault, he says, guys, my bad. And to him, that he says that it makes life easier. When something comes your way and you say, that's my fault, then there's no one else to put blame on. You only have yourself regardless. You might as well look to yourself for the answer, for accountability. Something comes up, in his world of business and, all the things that he's doing. It's just easier to go, my bad, I was wrong, I'm sorry, I feel like full accountability, let's move on, how do we solve this? And that is so much easier than, trying to figure out where to put the blame. Where did this start? Whose fault was it? Like, where did it go wrong? Who did it? Why did they do it? It's like, there's no point even worrying or thinking like that at all, because it just doesn't help you. It's not beneficial. And I think that's where being self-aware comes in. And, you need to be self-aware. You need to understand who you are as a person, but also realize that who you are as a person now is not going to be the same person that you will be in 10 years, 5 years, tomorrow. But it's good to know, like, you need to know, who am I? What do I value? Like, what do I hold dear to me? Because, and as Gary Vee talks about, you only have one life. Like, you're here once. The person that said these bad things to you and all these negative things and said you suck, blah, 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 you might not even see them again. And to be honest, they're going to die and you're going to die. And when you pass someone on the street and they give you a glare or say something racist or, are rude and disrespectful, the only thing you can really do is be empathetic towards those people, because what they don't understand is that you're here once and you have to try and make the most of it while you're here. And I think that's something I've been thinking about a lot more recently, especially having listened to Gary Vee. And I think it's really important to get that idea, or to get that fact through your head. You have one life as a human. Some people like to believe that you come back and you're reincarnated. Sure, that's good and fine. But as myself, as Ethan Bromilow, I have one life. Like, I'm 21. Hopefully, if all goes well, I live until I'm at least 80. Potentially with, scientific advancement and stuff like that, I might live until 100. Pretty healthy, pretty active. Live a pretty long-lasting life. That's if all goes well. That's a big if. I could, get hit by a bus. People die from getting hit by a bus. Could be me. But I think it's really important to not only talk about these things, but to understand them, to share them with the people that you're close to really figure out what is important to you and why. And I think Gary Vee also does a really good job of talking about business, and more so most people's longing for success and their ambitions and how to achieve that. And I think the biggest thing that he says is patience. Patience, patience, patience. He talks about a 40-year-old being young. And essentially, they are. Like, as I was just talking about, a 40-year-old would consider be young if you're at about the halfway mark or just under. You haven't even reached 50% of your life. Sure, you might be getting to more towards maybe your like where your health starts to deteriorate if you're not looking after yourself. But nowadays, you can be a really fit, healthy 55, 60-year-old, no problems whatsoever. You're fucking eating good, you're sleeping good, you exercise, you take care of yourself, you take vitamins, you fucking wash your hair. You know what I mean? Like, you look after yourself, and you could be healthy and active and still go out every day doing something that you enjoy, and also not having to deal with these health problems, which a lot of, 65-year-olds potentially be dealing with, especially when that puts a big strain on who you are as a person. And, no one wants to be sick. Like, being sick isn't fun. Like, if some billionaire who has all the money in the world, has the lifestyle, everything, what trumps that is health. Because if they're in bad health and they're dying of some disease, or they just feel awful every day, I can guarantee you they would trade all of their money to be healthy. So that's something that is also really important, which you need to think about. Like, yes, it's fine when you're young. Like, when you're young, abuse it. Eat shit, miss a workout, fucking, treat your body like shit every now and again. You can do that. You can. But, at least do it while you're young, and while you realize that when you're older, it's definitely not going to be advantageous at all to be doing that. I wrote down some few things just on a notepad before I press record, to just kind of keep myself continuing the conversation so I wouldn't get stuck and just be and ahhing and stuff like that. But, continuing with Gary Vee, like, he is someone who is realistic, empathetic, kind. He's someone who you'd like to think of yourself as being, like, everyone wants to be good. You know what I mean? Like, almost every single person wants to be kind, loving, caring, empathetic, successful, all these positive things which you can think of. And I think it's really important to not only see someone like him achieve the goals and success that he has set out to do through really hard work, and that's something that he talks about a lot. Hard work. I don't really remember what my point was, but I do think it's important to strive for all those, self values, and just be the best person that you can be. But not only that, but to share that with other people. You know what I mean? Like, sure, I would like to consider myself, a kind, empathetic, caring, loving person, but ultimately, it doesn't really mean anything if you can't share that with the people around you and express, how much you love and care for them, and bring out the good in them as well. So I think that's something that he does really well, and is really important. And with the hard work thing, I think, he mentions a lot, he talks a lot about time and hard work and, where you are in life. And he talks about how he's really excited for people who are just graduating university and still don't know what they want to do. Like, for them it's college. And he was talking about how every year it comes around, a whole bunch of 22-year-olds essentially finish college, finish uni, and, still have no idea what they want to do with my life. And I think that's really important for that perspective to come across, because, when I was 18, I thought to myself, when I'm 20, 22, 23, 24, by then, 5-6 years, I'm going to be this, successful young, entrepreneur, adventurous, like someone who is successful enough to just do things that they enjoy, passion projects and shit like that. But I think it's important to put in perspective time, how much time we have on this earth. If you're lucky enough, you have a lot of time. And I think it's important to realize where you are now. I know for a lot of people listening to this, a lot of my friends and shit, like, we're 20, 21. You know what I mean? Like, I know the past few years have been really difficult, with a lot of things, especially for myself as well, like just learning as the days go on and struggling. But, we're still really, really young, and something Gary Vee talks about is this 5-year period from essentially like, 22 to 27 to just up until you're 30, because you don't have this baggage. You don't have kids. I'm pretty sure he says, you don't have to take little Sally to a soccer game and make her lunch and take her to a play date. You don't have any of that. I know baggage isn't the right word. Responsibility is probably the better term for that. But either way, it's true. When you're 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, those are the years that you need to take risks. Figure out what you're going to do with your life. Try something for 6 months. Try something else for 6 months. Like, figure out what it is that you love to do, and then just do that. If you were to do something new for 6 months, every 6 months or 5 years, I mean, you'd have 10 completely different interests, which you would have had you would have a lot of experience in. 6 months is a long time, especially if you dedicate yourself. So I think it is also really important to try new things, like actually put yourself out there, to say yes, to build up your life experience, to travel. I think it's important to work hard and save money and, reach whatever financial goals you're striving for. But what's more important to me is life experience, to travel, to, maybe spend $40 on going to an event with, a few friends or something, because I value the time that I spend with the people I spend it with. It's simple as that. If I didn't value the time that I spend with my friends and the people that I love and care about, then I just wouldn't do it. I'll just be fucking at home, fucking watching YouTube, wasting my time, saving money, you know what I mean? But it's the same thing with, like, I have a family dinner every Friday and Sunday night, because my nan and pop live with us, and my pop is sick with cancer. And, this could potentially be, his last year. They said 6 to 12 months, about a month ago. So, and honestly, you never know with my pop, to be honest. Like, he's a fucking soldier. So, but, it's important to me that I am there for Friday night and Sunday night dinner. I won't work. I will leave things early. I had a Survivor, the fan-made game that I had. A whole bunch of us were meeting up in the city on Sunday at lunchtime. So, of course, I went, and everyone was going to continue hanging around a bit longer. And but I had to leave. I had to catch a train. I had to go back to my car. And I had to drive home because I wanted to be there for family dinner. It's important. It's something I value. And I think it's important to not only share your values, but to understand why you value them. And I mean, it's pretty fucking simple to see why, I value spending time with my sick, dying pop. But not everyone's going to do that. Some people don't care. Some people aren't self-aware enough to think about those things. And I'm really grateful and fortunate that I am. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm not there for every Friday and Sunday dinner, I'll be honest. But I go to as many as possible. You know, like, it was my friend's uni performance. It was on a Friday night, so I had to make a decision. What do I value more? Do I value spending half an hour with my pop and my nan, my family, having dinner with them, you know, making them laugh, having them a good time? Or am I going to spend time watching and supporting my friend's uni assessment? And my thoughts around that was, I'm most likely going to be friends. I'm mostly likely. Anyway, I'm most likely going to be friends with this person for a very long time. There's going to be lots of opportunities to not only see them perform, but see them thrive, see them achieve success, see them in their good times and bad times. And there's going to be more opportunities where I have time to spend with them. Whereas with my pop, there's not. So to me, when it comes down to those decisions, it is, you know, what do I want to do more? What do I value more? And I went to my friend's, I made a decision. I went to my friend's uni performance and was not there at Friday night dinner. One of the factors was that my mum and my sister were also out. So if they were both there, it could have been, you know, I might not have gone. Simple as that. I might have just caught up with everyone after. And that's okay too. You know, like, the decision that I make is the decision I make, and I stick with it 100%. Like, it is what it is. And, you know, I'm glad I went. But it also means that the Friday night and Sunday night dinners are even more valuable because I've missed one. And, you know, I don't like missing them. I like being there. Like, it's important. Like, spending time with my grandfather and my grandma is important to me because these are important people in my life. Like, I essentially live with them. You know, I've gone through thick and thin with them for quite a long time. It took me personally a lot of maturing and understanding to, you know, get past all of the bad blood that I had with them before they moved in. You know, my sister and I were completely against the idea. Like, fuck no. Why? Like, we don't even get along with them as it is. Like, why would we want them to move into the same fucking house as us? You know, like, why would I move in to an apartment with someone I don't get along with? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But, you know, obviously that's a completely different scenario, and this is my family. But in the end of the day, like, you know, I'm really happy they did move in, because who knows how many minutes or hours I would have gotten to spend time and see my pop if he wasn't living here before he dies. You know, and will that be something that I, you know, regret, or I say to myself, fuck, I wish I got to know him better. I wish I got to spend more time with him. You know, now I don't feel like that at all. You know, like, when he passes, he'll be in a better place. He won't be feeling so fucking shitty all the time, and, you know, I'll be happy that I would have got to spend the amount of time with him that I did, because it's important to me. So I think it's important to understand what is important to you. What do you care about? Who do you care about? What lengths will you go for these people? What lengths will you go to for yourself? You know, and all these other different things that Gary Vee talks about. And I think it's interesting and, again, important to listen to people share their values. I mean, Gary Vee's a fucking happy person. He lets everyone know it. You know, he's smiling, and he talks about how happy he is. He talks about why he's so happy. He talks about the struggle that he went through. living in an apartment by himself throughout his 20s, building up his parents' business for them. You know what I mean? Like he did this online wine sort of tasting show, more so in the early 2000s when the internet was starting up and stuff like that. And he did it, I think it was 5 times a week for 18 months before it got any traction at all. And he wasn't doing it for himself. He was doing it for his parents, for their business, because he felt like he needed to give back to the people that provided for him. He didn't do it for any online success or any, popularity contest. He said he was trading baseball cards when he was really young and gaining like $3,000 on a weekend. Like I'm pretty sure he said 13. I don't actually know that's true, but honestly, it probably is true. And nowadays, people would be like, holy shit. Like, you'd be applauded, like, oh my God, you're making money when you're it's like $3,000 a weekend when you're 13. You know what I mean? Now that's a huge thing. Back then, it was just like, no one gave a shit. So, but to him, he talks about doing things that are, important to him. Something that he, like he knows who he is, so he knows what he's good at, so he knows what he's bad at. And it's understanding who you are as a person to figure out what you are good at and what you aren't good at, and just try to do the things which you're good at. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, there's a little bit about that, but I think my thoughts on success, I already talked a little bit about my thoughts on success and how I thought, when I was 18, I said to myself, like, by the time I'm 22, 23, 24, I'm going to be, successful, making good money, living it up, doing whatever I want, essentially. But I think now more so than ever, my understanding of time and success is a lot different, because I'm not as much in a rush, in a sense. Like, I'm trying to get things done. Like, I'm trying to progress with my life. I'm trying to, do something with my life. I'm trying to be someone. I don't want to be this ordinary person who works a 9 to 5 and, was just a really nice guy and, like, enjoyable to be around, see, every now and again, like, just, I don't know, works at a fucking Specsavers or is a manager of Coles. Like, I don't want to be that fucking person. I don't want to be that person. I want to be unique. I want to be my own person. I want to be more. I want to be more. That's what I want. I want to be more than who I am. What I mean by that is, I want to be who I am as a person, but I want that to affect, in a positive light, obviously, because I'm not a fucking dickhead, but I want that to affect people in a positive light, to, inspire them, to just one person. Gary Vee talks about it, like, he's in a room of 3,000 people, 2,000 people. He says, like, my objective, or whatever, like, I'm realistic. Like, I'm not going to stand here and talk to you all about whatever and inspire all of you. Like, my goal is one person. I just want one person to realize that they can do it. They can work hard. They can, chase their dreams. They can reach success. They can be a good person. You know what I mean? And, he talks about his objective is to change the business world through empathy and kindness. You know, he wants to build the tallest building and be the poster child for it. And the reason for that is because within the business world, it's there's this almost there's this kind of like unwritten rule where you reach higher heights by treating your employees like shit, you know, like trying to work them to the bone and you know, tell them they're not good enough. You know, you're trying to like force it out of them. And Gary Vee's point is he wants to change that narrative. You know, he wants to show that he can do more than every other person by being a good fucking person, by being empathetic. You know, he talks about trust. Like, he wants people to come to him. You know what I mean? Like, he wants people, like, I think for trust, you have trust until you lose it. Simple as that. And I think he talks about that. Like, you have his trust. Like, first time meeting him, doesn't know who you are. Like, he trusts you. You know, he wants to learn more about you. And, you know, I can really connect with that. You know, I feel like I'm a really big social people person. You know, like, fucking hell, this camera quality shit. I don't know. My blind's open. It is what it is. But yeah, he talks about trust, and I think, you know, that's something that is, I don't know. To be honest, I don't know where I'm going. I lost my train of thought when I looked at the fucking camera and how it's almost staticky it looks like it is. But yeah, I think you should definitely check out Gary Vee. He talks about some amazing things. He talks about parenting. You know, just really, like, he talks about his mum, how the best thing that she did for him was basically, like, I'll give you the scenario. You know, he says this. He remembers it very clearly. You know, he's like, when I was 8, you know, I opened the door at Macca's for a woman, and his mum carried on about it like he'd just won the Nobel Peace Prize. For weeks. She kept telling him, wow, like, you know, you're really amazing for being so kind and opening that door for that lady. And I think that's also really important as well, and that's what he's trying to do with his kids. Like when they fail, your goal is to try and help them understand that they need to be accountable for their failures, and that through failure there is repercussions to an extent, and through good achievements there is praise. You know, you're a wonderful human being, you're amazing, you're so kind. You know, building up their self-esteem and their character, and, you know, really focusing on the good and not the bad. And I think all these things, everything that he talks about is just really just positive, and it's just the direction that I want to take my life in. And I see Gary Vee as someone who I want to be, you know, in life. I want to be someone who people can come to for good advice, someone who can come to just to gain a different perspective and, you know, really see, you know, the light in the sense. Because, you know, I feel as if I have, to some extent, having gone through this, you know, life-changing experience, and I've been thinking a bit more about that recently as well. Like, some people go through life-changing events by almost dying. You know what I mean? Like, when you have a near-death experience, to some people, you know, there's a wake-up call. Like, holy shit, I could have died. My time is short in this life. You know what I mean? Like, you know, something clicks. Like, holy fuck, wake the fuck up. I gotta do something. Like, I'm not gonna be here forever. I could die tomorrow. And for my life-changing experience was a little different. You know, my life-changing experience wasn't a near-death experience. It was hitting rock bottom. And if anyone listening, like, if you think you've hit rock bottom and you're not sure, you haven't. Like, you know. Like, you'll know. Like, I guarantee you. If you're like, oh, things couldn't get worse, whatever. They can get worse. You know, Gary Vee talks about death as well. Like, it's important. Like, things can get worse. Your mum can die. Your sister can die. Your dog can die. Your cat can die. You can crash the car. You can die. You know what I mean? Things can always get worse. Especially, I mean, he talks about, like, you compare your life to someone living in a fourth world fucking country, in a fucking jail cell, like, eating no food. Like, you're in a good position. You know, if you're able to live and walk around and you have 2 legs and 2 arms and, you know, everything is how, you know, like, everything's good. You're in okay health. Uni's okay. Work's okay. Like, if that's what you're thinking, it's okay. You should probably do some perspective changing, because when you compare yourself to someone with no food, no water, no clothes, no parents, no anything, you're in a great fucking position. You're in a really good position. And, you know, you should probably be more thankful and grateful for where you are. Like, that's what I'm, you know, this podcast compared to last one I was just talking about my life, you know, applying for IGA, not having done a podcast, the Survivor thing that I did. You know, that's important. I liked that. You know, it was good to talk about what I was doing with some of my time. You know what I mean? But I think it's even more important to talk about things that are important. You know, who gives a fuck that I went and walked a dog? Honestly, not even really me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really want to listen to someone who just talks about walking the dog and buying donuts. Like, that's cool and all, but, you know, I want to talk about things that are real, things that are important, things that should be discussed more. You know what I mean? So, the next thing I put down, I wrote my thoughts about, and then I wrote down a few things, and because listening to Gary Vee for 3 hours, actually it was only a couple hours, but, you know, made me think about, you know, some of these things. So, you know, my thoughts about happiness, my happiness. You know, in the last podcast, I talked about, you know, my perspective and how I'd been a lot more happier since, you know, seeing a psychologist and just trying to be more happier. Like, as I said in the last one, beating yourself up just doesn't get you anywhere. You know, like, if I, for example, for today, right, woke up early, did the whole cleaning, did a podcast, like, I've achieved a few things already, you know what I mean? But then if let's just say I fucking smoke weed for the rest of the day, it's 11:15. Let's say I smoke weed for 12 hours. You know, let's just say that happens, right? It's not going to happen. But let's just say that does happen. At the end of the night, I could easily be like, oh, I'm fucking useless. Like, for the last 12 hours, I just sat in my chair, ate some food, smoked some weed, and got nothing done. And, yeah, at the end of the night, I'd probably feel like shit. But beating yourself up isn't going to do anything for you. Like, it's not actually, unless for some reason beating yourself up, you know, allows you to move forward and be like, yep, not doing that again. I don't want to be a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. Like, no, I'm not. Like, you need to surround yourself with, you know, more positivity. Like, it's fine. Like, yeah, I did this. I have some bad habits, you know, like, it is what it is. Like, it's done now. I made the decision. The decision's passed. Beating myself up is only going to create more resentment for myself when there's just no need. Like, that time has gone past. You know, you shouldn't focus your time looking in the rear view mirror while you're driving your car, because you're going to fucking crash. Okay? You need to look in front of you where you're going. And by, you know, putting yourself down and, you know, calling yourself a piece of shit and whatever, it's just not going to help. And I think I think my attitude towards it, like small things and fucking up, like I fuck up all the time. Like I'm 21. Like I didn't do a podcast for 6 months. You know what I mean? And at the start of the year, I was like, just got to do 2 a week. 2 a week for 11 months. That's 100 podcasts. That's the goal. And now I'm planning in December. The plan was do the podcast and then in December go away, like travel and shit. Now the plan is there's no fucking plan. Not to do with the podcast. There's no plan at all. I don't have a plan. Like, as I said, this is probably a long-term thing. You know, I'm going to get guests in, but before then, I'm probably just going to do these podcasts with myself to just build up the fact that I'm doing it. And I really want to get the space in my room to where I'm happy with it. Where I'm really like, I could get someone who I don't know, I've never met, and they could come in here and think this is not some fucking 21-year-old's bedroom where he smokes weed and fucking, you know, has a jerk. You know what I mean? Like this is my room. Like my bed's fucking over there. You know what I mean? Like I want to change this area when I do a podcast with a guest into an area where they think it's a studio. You know what I mean? Like you can't see my bed. There's no fucking. I got fucking cans of deodorant. I got my speaker. I've got hair gel. Like I got fucking shit lying around. It's my fucking bedroom. You know what I mean? Like I don't want someone to walk in and you know see my shoe rack and my fucking fridge with my bong in it and shit. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's really important as well to just be real and authentic. Like most of the people I know I smoke weed. You know, like who gives a fuck? Like I built up some bad habits through COVID. I've done a lot better now. That's for fucking sure. You know what I mean? Like, but you know, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Like if that's something that I struggle with, that you know I want to not do or do less of, or you know, that's on me. You know what I mean? That's got nothing to do with any fucking body else. But at the same time, you know, I'm fine with sharing it because, you know, it's just something I do. It's not who I am. You know, it's not, smoking weed isn't who I am as a person. You know what I mean? It's just something that I do. So, and I think that's also important to think about the things which you struggle with as something that you do, not something that you are. You know, and that just plays on like why I'm so happy. Like I'm pretty happy at this point in life. You know, like I did I filmed a like audition to $1 Million Island, which is just this reality TV show. I didn't get any callback or anything or any email like, "Hi, we really enjoyed your video," because it was fucking obviously pretty shit. They might not have even seen it. I was like, "All right, thanks, dickhead." But something I said in that video, they're like, one of the questions was, "What are you gonna do with the money? You know, if you win $1 million, what are you gonna do with it?" And my response was, to be honest, if I win. Like, to be honest, I don't want to win. Like, I don't want the money. Because to me, and this is something which I know is fucking crazy, but to me, I just want to struggle. I know it's weird, but what I mean is like, I just want to struggle through my 20s and learn and grow and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and fail and be poor and broke and have to work hard. And you know, I want to struggle. Like I want to have the journey of struggling. Like I need that. Like I don't like for as a human being, as knowing who I am now as a person, like I need to struggle. Like I feel like winning $1 million playing a game, sure, if I feel like if I did win, I would just accept it as working really hard, because obviously only one person can win. You're out, you know, essentially there's 100 people on an island. You're there for like 2 months or some shit. Like it's hard. Like it would be very hard to live and survive and to thrive and to win the game. Like it'd be very hard. You know what I mean? So I'd definitely be accepting of the fact that if I did win, I would accept the money and do something good with it. It would change my life. It'd be a really positive thing moving forward. But I feel like I wanna struggle more first. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know if it's very relatable, but that's just is what it is, and I think that's what makes me as well happy. Like, I'm happy because I'm grateful. I'm grateful for taking the dog for a walk and listening to a podcast and getting some fresh air and fucking looking at the clouds and spending time with my grandparents. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for the time I get to spend with them. I'm grateful to be alive. We live in a really good time to be alive. Like, yeah, there's fucking war going on right now and shit, as fucking basically has always been for the past fucking 3,000 years or some shit, fucking forever. You know what I mean? But we're in a really good time to be alive, and I just want to share that with anyone listening and the people around me. I'm grateful to be alive. I love my friends. I tell them I love them. I'm just really grateful. I'm grateful to be the person who I am now, and that's because I was a really shitty fucking person. Like, I just was. Like, there's no denying that. My mate Michael, he said the other day, we were at his grandpa's funeral, and I was talking to my mum. She was like, could you please go do something for me? I was like, yeah, sure, mum. I'm like, no worries. Like, you need anything else? You know what I mean? And then his comment was like, it was something along the lines of, I haven't always spoken to her this way. And it was like, or imagine how I used to speak to you. Something like that. And it's true. Like, I used to speak so poorly. Awful. That's not my fault. Like, it's like I talk about taking ownership and shit, and then saying that's not my fault. But you're a kid. I was a kid. I'm still a kid now, but like, during school, you know what I mean? Like, during primary school and high school, I was a kid. Like, you are a product of your environment, essentially. So, I'm not going to beat myself up and blame myself for being a cunt. Like, it's essentially out of my control. You know what I mean? It's in my control now, which is why I'm a good fucking person, because I had that life-changing experience where I hit rock bottom and I was like, hold on. I reevaluated everything all at once in the one question. I was like, is this am I really going to continue being this shitty person? Like, I reevaluated everything with one question instantly. And, I changed as a human being overnight. Boom, snap, something clicked in me as a human. Like, my will to be a better human being outweighed how shitty I was up until that point. It's as simple as that. That is what happened. And you only get that will by hitting rock bottom. So, as I said before, if you feel like if you've hit rock bottom, and you throw it around like it's a term which happens often, it's you haven't hit rock bottom. Simple as that. Like, hitting rock bottom, like, when you're in a really bad place, you want to hit rock bottom, to be honest. Like, I know it's not a great thing, but like, it's like, oh, I'm fucking, like, I've wished that again for myself. Like, towards the start of the year, last year, when I was going through it a little bit, I was like, fuck, this would be so much easier if I could just hit rock bottom, because when you're at rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up, and life gets so much easier from there. But 99% of the time, you don't hit rock bottom. You just hit like this plateau of, you're near there, you're potentially close to the bottom, but you're not gonna hit it soon, or you're not likely to hit rock bottom. Like, rock bottom is a life-changing experience. That's what I believe. And that's why I'm so grateful, because I'm grateful that I was able to live through all the things that I lived through, and I chose to learn from it and grow from it. And I think through that and through my positive attitude, to like now, just being more positive, not beating myself up, like I feel a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, mum might be like, oh, can you empty the dishwasher, take out the bins, fucking make me a cup of tea? When I was fucking 16, I'm like, no, fucking do it yourself. I don't give a fuck. Not my dishes in the dishwasher. Now, it's like, yeah, sure, no worries. And the reason is because it's so much easier. Like, my life is so much easier now that I just say yes. I'm just like, my nan last night was like, can we go to Bunnings at 5:30? She's like, can we go to Bunnings at 6:30? And would you mind taking me? I was like, yeah, no worries. In my head, to be honest, like, oh, for fuck's sake. Honestly, in my head, I was like, oh, we really have to go at 6:30. Like, I can't really be bothered. Not honestly, I could not really be bothered. But I tell you what, it is 1,000 times easier to just fucking be bothered than it is to not. And it was actually kind of fun. She was not rambling. That sounds like a rude term, but she was just talking about her, what had been happening in her life, in her day, and I barely said a word. She was just talking. She was just happy to have someone in a company, and I'm spending time with my nan, getting flowers and shit from Bunnings. Life is good. No complaints. It was a good time. I went and got dinner afterwards. I went and grabbed some fucking Goslame. Like, life is good. And then I fucking spent 3 hours playing games with my friends. You know what I mean? Like, I got to enjoy some good company, have some fun. Like, I had a good fucking evening. I helped my nan. I had fun. I had a shower. I felt good. My room's clean. My attitude's good. Life is good, bro. Life is really fucking good. And I think people need to be more grateful for what they have. Honestly. I need to be more grateful. 100%. 100%. So yeah, I'm really happy. And the other thing I wrote down is patience. And as I've already said this a couple times now, so I hope I'm not repeating myself too much. But the dog's just under my feet sleeping. What's saying? Yeah, patience. As I said, like when I was 18, I was like 23, 24. Like I want to be successful, rich. Well, like not rich, but like well off enough where I can just be like, yo, let's go to fucking Cambodia for 2 weeks. I'll pay for it. You know what I mean? Like that's fucking the life. But you don't get there by doing nothing. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of nothing recently. Like a lot of nothing. Like, you got to work hard. Like you got to have something that you want to work hard towards. And my goal is to work hard on myself. I've said this probably before, but my ultimate goal in life is to be the best version of myself. And the reason why it's the best goal that you could set yourself is because it's unachievable. It's a goal which you'll never reach. You can always be better, do more. And I think it's the best goal to have. And it's a lifelong goal. You got to be patient. You know what I mean? You have to be patient with yourself and with success and with happiness. You have to be more patient. And I think you understand how to be more of a patient person. Like I would like to consider I'm okay at being patient. Like I had to wait an hour essentially to go to Bunnings last night. I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. I'm all right with that. When she's good and ready to go, we'll leave. No dramas. I think being patient is important. And Gary Vee talks about it. And he talks about a 40-year-old being young. And, I can see that. I'm 21. I'm fucking half that. I'm like, I thought about this success as being a young 20-year-old. But, now I'll probably, won't be successful at whatever it is I'm doing. And, hopefully my late 20s, even early 30s. Like, who knows, And that's fine with me. You know what I mean? Like, the 20s are going to be some of the best time of my life. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to working hard. I'm looking forward to exploring and having these new experiences and finding out what I'm really passionate about and changing as a human being and learning and failing a lot, bro. I fail a lot. Like, I fail all the time, every day, you know? So I think it's important to be patient, to understand that. I think you need to understand you need to understand time. And Gary Vee talks about it. Time. You have one life. You only get one life as whoever the fuck you are. One. You know what I mean? Like, time is valuable. Time is important. You need to figure out what's important to you and how much time you're going to spend on it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I wrote out a few other things. Okay, the first thing I wrote about was Gary Vee, his values. I've talked a lot about Gary Vee and his values and what he's talked about. And then I said my thoughts about success, happiness, patience, my values, such as walking the dog, like, obviously a value, like I'm more like, I don't know, but I mean, my values such as walking the dog, like, why do I value that? I've already talked about it. I value that. Well, I mean, I haven't talked about dog, but I value walking the dog because, I'm going to leave home eventually and he's going to stay here. And, I love him. We had him as a puppy. I raised him. I woke up at fucking 6 o'clock for a whole year when he was a puppy because mum forced me to walk him an hour. Like, I was sleeping in school, like, during year 11, like, a lot. Because I would wake up at 6 o'clock every day, like, almost every day, and walk the dog for an hour. 6:30, whatever it was. It was early, bro. It was fucking early. While, like, before school, an hour? You know what I mean? Now, I struggle to wake up at 7:30. I'm like, how did I do that? It's because I had to. Mum forced me to do it. Like, she'd lock me out of the house. Like she wouldn't let me in. I've got this room at the back here. Like, the back door would be locked until I walk the dog. You know what I mean? So, I value spending time with him, giving him a brush, hugging him. Oh, Maxie, like, I love you so much. You know what I mean? Like, I value being home, spending that time with him because, he's important to me. Like, I love him a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I raised him as a puppy. He slept in my bed for, while I was a puppy. He pissed on my floor. You know what I mean? I fucking raised this little shit. Like, he's important to me. And I'll move out. He'll stay here, like, for sure. And that's fine. But it just means, like, sorry, I'm gonna stretch. But it's like, I recognize that that's gonna happen, so it allows me to value the time that I spend with him even more, and I think that's important. Spending time with spending time with the grandparents. I've already talked about that. Like, it's a bit of a no-brainer. I said my attitude towards difficult situations. I've already talked about my attitude in general, just trying to be more positive and kind. I had the job interview the other day, and I just went in like I was a little nervous, as you should be, because you're doing something you've never done before. Like, yeah, I've done a job interview, but with these new people and new workplace and new job, new this, new that, it's a little nervous. I was a little nervous, but ultimately I walked in there with the thought and the attitude of, it's going to be what it's going to be anyway. I'm just going to try my hardest, say some good things. They've got my resume, like, there's nothing more that I can do than whatever it is I can do. You know what I mean? So there's no really point stressing about what you can't do, what you should have said. If I don't get the job, I don't get the job. Like, I'm looking for a job. Like, I need money before Europe. Like, I'm just going to, I don't know, apply for Bunnings, fucking, I don't know, bro. I don't fucking know, but I've got to do this process again if I don't get this job. So, but, I just went in there with the attitude, like, it's going to be what it's going to be. Like, I didn't know where I was supposed to be when I got there. I didn't know where I was supposed to meet the guy. I didn't know, where I was supposed to wait. I didn't know any of this shit. So, and that could be a little nerve-wracking. That could be a little that could be confronting. That could be a lot to deal with. But it's in your mind, you know what I mean? I just went in there all right, all I'm gonna do is just go up to one of the people serving at the far end, where they sell cigarettes and shit, because there's someone normally just writing down something, and I'm just gonna ask them. I'm gonna say, hey, I've got an interview at 1:30. I can't remember the guy's name. I'm not really sure where to be. Would you mind helping me out? I did that. Someone went off, talked to someone. I sat in a chair while people shopping went past me for 5 minutes. I was just reading the catalog. I wasn't on my phone. I don't like to be on my phone when, I'm in those situations where I'm talking to people or stuff like that. I think it's a little rude, and I think it just doesn't come across great, especially when I'm going for an interview. It's oh, you're on your phone, on social media, how much can you care? I went through the catalog, and then once I've done the catalog, I checked the time on my phone, and then I put it back in my pocket, and I just fucking sat there for a couple of minutes. And then someone came and got me. I went and talked to the big boss, and it was 5-10 minutes. Just did the best I could. Walked out there. The thing that I did before I left, though, is I asked the I can't remember his fucking name now. Not the big boss, but the guy who was scheduling the interview and who was in there. I asked him, what do you like about working here? Because I think it's important to, if I'm going to work there, I want to know why this guy's working there. What is his thoughts? And, he said he'd working Coles and Woolworths. This is kind of the industry that he'd been working in for a long time. And to be honest, I'm not really too sure, but he said he loved it. So he loves doing it. And if he loves doing it, there's got to be a good fucking reason why. And there's no reason why I can't love doing it too. Sorry, I got something. So yeah, so that was a bit more about my attitude. Oh yeah. I really need a shit, I'm not gonna lie. But I think this is completely different. This is just I've talked about a lot of values and things that I care about and stuff like that for the past hour, which is great. I love this conversation a lot, to be honest. But I'm just going to move completely off topic now. And the last thing I wrote... Well, okay, so I already told you the first couple of things that I wrote. The last thing I wrote was open and honest with where I am now at this point in time in my life and what I want to look like in the next 10 years. I've sort of talked about it in the sense of values and, what my values are now. Honestly, I don't know what I want it to look like in 10 years. I just want to... Well, I mean... Okay, maybe I sort of do. I want to be disciplined. I want to have a focus. I want to do something I'm passionate about. I want to do something I love. I want to keep trying to build other people up. I want to keep trying to inspire other people. I want to try and just I want to do things for other people. You know what I mean? I just want to potentially have a family. You know what I mean? Or have the thoughts of having a family in 10 years. I'll be 31. I just want to be more involved, more active. I want to be doing more, seeing more, influencing people more in a positive way. Obviously, if you haven't figured out that I'm trying to influence people in a positive light, you need some serious help, because I'd understand that if the things that I weren't saying wasn't true and authentic, and if I was my younger self, because I was a dickhead, didn't care about anyone else, blah, 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 blah. I was yeah, whatever. But that's not who I am now. But otherwise, I don't know. Just living life, doing the things that I want to do, essentially. Where I am now, just figuring it out. That's pretty much all there is to it. Making mistakes, hopefully learning from them, meeting new people, making new friendships, figuring out my process. You got to work hard, but you got to think smart about it as well. You can't there's no point of working hard if you're not working hard towards achieving something that you want to achieve. Like, working hard and making money is great. I want everyone to make money and work hard, but I want to work hard doing something I'm passionate about, and something that hopefully can help others as well. But I'm just on the journey, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just in it. It's just day-to-day life, like, just on the journey, trying to figure out how I can pick up my grind. I've been in, I think being in through COVID and building up a lot of bad habits, like, just such as watching too much YouTube, like, too much social media, like, not being productive enough and stuff like that. I'm realizing a lot more of that as well now. I'm just trying to change my environment. And right now, I'm not too fussed. Like, I'm not going to beat myself up because I do have a lot of bad habits. I do have a lot of, procrastination and unwillingness to try hard and work hard. But, I've more or less accepted that. Not as like, oh, okay, well, I'm not doing a lot and that's fine, so I'm just going to continue not doing a lot. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, right now, my goal is to find a second job, work 5 days a week, like, really work hard, I guess. Yeah, working hard, like, work hard, save money for Europe, and travel Europe for 2 months. And then I'm hoping that'll give me a really good reset that I need to come back into the environment that I'm in now, and just look at it with a fresh set of eyes, and really figure out what I can do better. And I have 2 months to kind of get out of here and lose some of these habits, and like, get out of all these social media and YouTube habits and this and that. And Maxie, what are you doing, Bubba? Come here. Come sit down. Come on. So yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to beat myself up for where I am now. Where I am now is where I am. Simple as that. Alright, now the last thing, I do need a fucking shit. I'll be honest, I know, but... Yeah, you tired too, Bubba. You tired too, big sucky dog. Yeah, last thing I talk about is Survivor, obviously, because I'm so fucking passionate about it. Like, I'm gonna put it out there right now. I am going to play Survivor. I just watched Survivor 43, like, just not the season. It's not out yet. It hasn't started, but just the just some little clip, like the introduction clips and stuff. And there was this woman said, this chick said, it was not if I play Survivor, it was a matter of when. And I want that to be me too. I really want to play this game. I really want to. And the reasons is because it's challenging. Like, you're put through mentally, physically, and spiritually challenged every day. You're food deprived. You're water deprived. You're deprived of being alone. You know what I mean? I really value the time that I spend with myself, and to be around people constantly. And you're in a game setting. Like, you can be open and honest. Like, there's just so many reasons. Like, I want to play Survivor because I want to become more. I want to figure out more of who I am as a person. I want to play the game. Like, I actually want to strategize. Like, people talk about Survivor as being a really big... It's a chess game with humans. Like, I want that. Like, that sounds really interesting to me. Like, that sounds like something I can get on board. Especially playing the one-day fan-made game. Like, you can sort of see how that works. And... I just want to be part of the community. Like, I want to be a survivor. I want to be this young 21, 22, 23. I don't care how long it takes. Like, I want to play this game. And I have what it takes to play this game. Like, I know I do. Like, I'm not a regular 21-year-old. Like, I know that. I'm unique. Like, I am unique. Like, I want to be unique. I want to be someone in Survivor who people can come to, who people like after the game, after I fucking vote them out. You know what I mean? Like, I want to play the game to not only gain life experience and and really struggle. Like, I've talked about struggling. Like, I want to struggle. I want to put myself in environments where I struggle. I don't want to play Survivor for, like, sure, it'd be cool to see myself on TV, but I don't want to play for fandom and fucking Instagram success and shit. I don't fucking post I barely post on social media. I haven't done the podcast in 6 months. I don't post on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. I don't post because I don't know, I don't fucking care. Like, maybe I will, but like, I really want to play the game, and I'm very passionate about it. It's something which has taken a lot of time over my life for the past 9 months now. And I definitely believe I have what it takes to not only play, but to do very well. And I think having played this fan-made game has taught me a lot. Beforehand, I wouldn't think I would be able to win. Honestly, I didn't think I wouldn't be. Just because of my personality, I'm too myself. I'm too honest. I'm too forward. I'm too kind. I'm too like you're talking yourself like, if you're thinking like, oh, you're too kind, like, oh, you're so up yourself. I'm not up myself at all. Like, you don't know me. I know me. I know what I am. I know who I am. Not all of me. I don't know who of all I am. Like, I say I know who I am. I do. But there's so much more of who I am, which I'm still yet to figure out. And I think Survivor is the perfect place to do that. Survivor is the ultimate challenge. And I am here to challenge myself. I've set the ultimate challenge for myself in life to be the best person I can be. And to play a game which could bring that out of me even more so is something which I am deeply passionate about, enthusiastic about. I think I could do extremely well, if not win, because of the experience that I've had with this fan-made game and how the game really works. And I'm great with people. I'm really good with people. I think I have absolutely everything that it takes to win the game of Survivor. I mean, ultimately, the goal would just be to survive as long as possible. Yeah, sure, winning is the ultimate goal. Of course it is. Everyone playing the game, everyone watching the game, every fan, every person that auditions, they want to play, they want to win. But more so than winning, I really want to win, as I've said, but more so than winning, I just want to experience the game. Like, I want to experience starving. To be honest, like, I just do. Like, I'm a sick fuck, man. Like, I want to starve myself. I want to get to a really dark place where I'm struggling really hard to stay in the game, but I persevere. I want to grow. I want to fucking, I want to show to myself that I can do it. And I can do it. I'm a fucking beast, bro. I want to play the game. I want to play the game hard. I played the game really hard in my fan-made game. And anyone listening who potentially ends up watching it when it comes out, like, you'll see, like, that was... I said coming into the fan-made game, I was going to play conservative, slow. But as soon as the host said Survivor's ready on the first challenge, all that was behind me. There was no playing slow. I played very hard. And it's evident. I played fast. I played hard. I lied. I backstabbed. I blindsided. I played advantages. I experienced all that Survivor. I experienced, in the grand scheme of things, about 10%. About 1/10 less of what the actual game of Survivor has to offer. But just getting a fucking little slither of Survivor makes me even more passionate. And I think even doing the podcast, because more so nowadays, a lot of the people who do end up playing Survivor are people who do have some sort of social media following. And if I have to build up my podcast, my brand, me as a human being, whatever it is over the next few years to play the game of Survivor, and that's the drive, I will do that. You know what I mean? Like, this podcast will become successful only because I want to play Survivor. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to play Survivor, and I can. You know what I mean? Like, this is doable. I can do this. I'm now in the community. I have a friendship, someone who I really value as a really good fucking human being who played the game of Survivor, who plays in my season, season 1 of Sydney Survivor. And, I'm friends with him now as well. So I think I'm way closer to being like in the game Survivor than I've ever been. And every day that continues forward, I will get one step closer to playing Survivor. I will play Survivor. I do not care if they're like, all right, we can't do any more seasons in Australia because there's just not enough demand. Like at some point in my life, I will fucking raise all the money. I don't care. I will raise all the money. I will build an empire just to play Survivor. You know what I mean? Like it's just really important to me, and I just think there's so much to learn from it and grow from it. And even if I am voted out early in the game and my experience is brought shorter than what I would have dreamt and liked, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, like, that's the game of Survivor. Like, sometimes you get voted out early and you're a good player and, maybe you deserve to be in there longer. But that's what I love. That's what I love about it so more, is that anyone could go at any time. But I know I could do really well. I'm a great social player. I'm good at making connections with guys, girls. I don't care if you have horns on your fucking head, cunt. Like, I will be friends with you. Like, my only downfall in the game, I believe, will be too nice. People will see me as a threat because I have too many people that like me. And I'm just being honest, that might not happen, but I will play the game of Survivor. I will. You will see me playing the game of Survivor, and I will do well. I promise you, I will do well. But yeah, I just love talking about it. To be honest, like, if you're watching the video, you just see me smiling, and the more I think about it, the happier I am. To be honest, like, there's so many people out there who are the same as me and really passionate and really want to play, and they think the same as I am. I'm unique. I'm young. Or I'm not. I have the, whatever. Everyone thinks that they're unique. You have to be to play Survivor. You just do. But there's a difference between me and those people, and the difference is I know I will play Survivor. Like, it's not, as that lady said, it's not if, it's when. And I believe that to be true, and I will continue to believe that to be true until the day I make it happen. When Survivor, I'm going to make the fucking best audition video you've ever seen in your fucking life. I will give you no doubt in your mind, there will be no doubt in your mind that I am the best pick to play Survivor. Because I have everything. I have absolutely everything. I want the experience. I want to play the game. I have the social play. I'm young. I'm not that athletic or fit. Fucking look at me, to be honest. Like, I mean, if I get told I'm playing the game of Survivor, you best believe I'll be working my ass out every fucking day. I'll be bulking. Like, I will be fucking mad. I will be so mad. Like, I have everything, bro. I have everything. And in the audition tape that I make, I will be sure to make good use of all the skills that I have currently, and to share with whoever the hell's watching the video that I am undeniable. You will not deny me to play this game. I have everything. I want to play the game. I want to strategize. I want to blindside. I have everything that every producer ever wants to see in a show. The fact that not only this person wants to play the game, they want to play it hard, but not only that, they're great at being social. They're great at hiding the fact that they want to play and want to play hard. They're liked. They're loved. They fuck up. They make, like you'll see in my season, like, I fucked up like a couple times. You know what I mean? Like I'm authentic. I'm a good talker. Like, I'm everything you fucking want and more. I will play the game of Survivor. I love the game of Survivor, and you will see me do very well, and I guarantee it. And, potentially you'll also see me play another fan-made game, and hopefully that's after I go on the real thing. I would love nothing more than to play Survivor for every fucking reason that I've mentioned and more. And it's just the ultimate challenge. And I have what it takes to crush the ultimate challenge. And that's pretty much it for the podcast, guys. I don't know if anyone's fucking listening, nor do I really give a fuck. This is just good for myself to be able to rant, talk about a few things. Some fucking cunt who can hear me right now. He's just fucking, I don't know, he's out. He's next door neighbour. My door's open, so he's probably heard me rant about Survivor for the last fucking 15 minutes. But I don't know, there's some cunt out there. So, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, someone can hear me talk to myself. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, that's pretty much it for me today. An hour 20, a lot better than the last one because I actually had things which were important and I cared about talking about. And crazy. This is going to be a much better podcast. I'm feeling really good. I'm hungry. I need to take a shit. I'm going to walk the dog. Max, oi, what are you doing? Get out of my shoes, dog. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Pretty much covered everything I want. I'm going to do a few more things to make myself even more happy. Crushed today. But I really need to eat. I really need to take a... And, yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much it. I'm rambling on now, but, this podcast is just going to be me rambling. You know what I mean? Like, it's just authentic. I'm not cutting anything out. I'm just going to click fucking post. Episode 9, myself again. And, yeah, shout out to all my homies doing the dishes. I appreciate you. Again, I really don't care. I just want one, like... The fact that I just need one person to listen to this, you know what I mean? Like, that would... I feel good if just one person listens to it. I don't care if it's 2, 3, 5, 10, 20,000. 20,000 is cool, you know what I mean? Like, I could interact and talk with a lot of people and hopefully have more of a bigger impact than what I have now. But it's a learning process. We grow. This is slow. I'm 21, bro. 21. It's my 9th podcast. There's going to be a lot more to come. I can guarantee you. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. So be it. But I've started the podcast. I'm going to continue it, and I enjoy doing it. I feel really good right now, and I hope everyone has a good fucking day, evening, morning, night, afternoon, fucking wherever the fuck you are in the world, whatever. To the fucking 3 homies out there listening to this, appreciate you, love you very much. If you ever want to have a conversation with me, please let me know. Like, once I get this shit sorted in my room and really get it how I want it, piece of piss, cunt. Let's do it. Let's have a conversation. We'll talk whatever the fuck you want to talk about. You know what I mean? I'm down. Let's fucking learn from each other. Let's grow as human beings. Let's treat each other kind. And that's pretty much it. Peace.